This is the plaintiff, Caitlin Bottolato. She says she was hired by the defendant as a nanny to hang out with her 10-year-old son and take him swimming. Needless to say, her son was very difficult to deal with. For instance, he would lock himself in his room and one day locked her out of the house entirely. Bottom line, things didn't work out, but the defendant stiffed her on pay, and she's here today to collect the $505 she's owed. This is the defendant, Patrice. She says the plaintiff's done so many bad things to her son, was extremely irresponsible, and she is shocked the girl has the nerve to sue her here today. Her son has a rare pigmentation condition, needs sunscreen no matter what. She forgot, and he was horribly burned. She also took her son on a date to the park, and she could go on and on and on. Owe her money? Forget about it. She's accused of burning a babysitter.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Okay. Caitlin Bottolato?
Yes.
You are suing your former employer. You've asked to be referred to as Patrice?
Yes.
For $505 that you claim are owed to you in wages that she has not paid you and some reimbursables. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I met Patrice through a babysitting website, and she had a 10-year-old son. So I met with her, and the first thing she did was she sat me down and she said that her son has had a difficult life. And she explained that there was custody issues between herself and the father, and he suffered some abuse done by the father, and he's now dealing with some emotional turmoil from that.
How old's the child?
He's 10.
Okay. God bless him.
And so we agreed to start the next day.
Okay.
And we agreed on $12 an hour plus gas for driving him to activities.
All right. Now, she seemed, according to your pleading, she seemed to feel, as I would too, that it was important that the boy get out, right? Get out from behind a computer screen or whatever the heck, you know.
Right.
All right. So what kinds of things were you taking the boy to do?
Okay, so he really liked to swim. So I would take him to the YMCA to swim. I took him to the local beach to go swimming in the lake. I set up meetings with my friends because he wanted play dates, and I asked him, I was like, oh, okay, who do you want me to call? Meaning your friends. And he goes, no, your friends. So I set up play dates with my friends.
What do you mean with your friends?
Because he doesn't have many friends.
Okay, but did you clear that with mom that you would have other teenagers or 20-something-year-olds around her kid? Okay.
And I did it because I figured he needed a guy role model.
Okay.
So I had one of my friends is a firefighter.
Watch just a second. Did she clear that with you or not?
It was not cleared in the way that it should have been cleared. After the fact.
What do you mean?
She took him places and then said I would get a text, oh, we're hiking and I'm with my friend Jaden. And it was more like a date than it was, an activity for my son.
Well, I don't know. Was it? Was your son happy when he came?
No, he was miserable.
Was that because he wanted to be in front of a computer screen? Or?
No, he just didn't want to be, whatever. I don't know what happened during that time because he's a child, but he came home very unhappy about whatever went on during his time.
Did you ask him? Because you're a mother.
He's like, well, it was all about them and I didn't want to be there.
That's what a 10-year-old said? It was all about them?
I mean, I can't, if you knew my son, what he's been through, he's pretty
I'm sorry that your son has been through difficult times, but I right now have one task, and that's to decide if you breached a contract or not by having her work for you for how many weeks did you work for her entirely?
Only 9 days.
Okay, 9 days.
And it was
not paying her for $505 that she says you owe her. So that's the only question I have in front of me now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. So you tell me, does she ever say to you, I can't believe you took my son hiking with your friend and didn't clear it with me beforehand?
I mean, can I read it? I have it right here in text messages. So,
just hand it to me so I can see it. What is it?
Okay.
Text or?
Text.
Oh, hand me your phone. Do you have your phone with the text?
Yeah.
I much prefer that.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because then I get to see stuff that you didn't print out. Not you personally, but any litigant.
Right.
Okay, she sends you a text that says, we just went on a hike with my friend Jaden and now we are going home. And your response is not, what? you took my son on some random hike with a person I haven't screened. Your response is, wow, awesome. How did he do? Was he happy to go? He did really good. He wasn't too thrilled about it though. So glad you got him out. Perfect. Very successful. Great job. Where did you go hiking? Lover's Leap. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oh, we haven't.
There you go.
Oh, no, not really. Because here's your response. Not, oh my God, Lover's Leap. That's child abuse. Your response is, oh, we've been there. He was 5. Beautiful. So apparently no.
Well,
That's not there you go. Just stop a second. It's great. It was perfect temperature. So happy for him. Thank you, says the mom. You're welcome. All right. Now go on.
Okay. And so on Thursday, July 26th, there was a major episode with her son. She was coming home early during her lunch break to feed him, and she came home and he was just not in a good mood that day. Had a major fit episode. He was just very distraught over not wanting to be active, and because I was trying to get him to be active, get him to lose weight, get him to just have fun and get out of the house and not be playing video games all the time or with the iPad or anything like that. So that day I was let go at 12:30. And then the last day, July 27th, I, showed up at a regular time and I was locked out of the house. And so finally the grandpa lets me in. This is maybe about like 15, 20 minutes after I got there. And he's locked in the mom's room. Because that's what he would do sometimes. He would purposely lock himself in to the point where I would have to pick the lock.
Did you ever have any experience with that before, with a child who's going through a difficult time and maybe is just a little bit of a more of a challenge? Or
I've never experienced a child with his amount of difficulties now. And so, and even the grandpa would help me sometimes, but even he could not control her son.
The defendant's kid had weight issues and was always in front of a computer screen, so she hired the plaintiff to take him places for exercise and fun, but it didn't turn out that way at all. The defendant says the plaintiff did more harm than good. Let's listen. All
right, talk to me. Tell me what happened.
There was just a lot of irresponsible actions on her part. It started with, she did take my son places. I know she was trying, but her heart wasn't in it. I don't think it's her forte to take care of children. She was kind of heartless, and she took my son to I made it very clear when I interviewed her. I said, my son has a very rare birth defect. It's like, I have some evidence here for you to show you. He's got, he's part of a pigmented lesion clinic at Yale, which is because it's such a rare condition. And the one thing I said is you have to put sunscreen on him. That's it. There's just no two ways about it. I want him to have sunscreen. He needs to have it done regularly during the day. And he can't do it himself. It's on his back. He can't put sunscreen on himself because he's a little boy. And I come home and my son is burned.
Is this from Jump Street, like when she first started working for you?
Yep. It was from get-go. I said, I'm home and he's bright red. I said, no sunscreen. She goes, I know, he didn't want to put it on. I think it will show him now that he needs to wear it. I mean, what caregiver?
What date is that so I can find it?
That is July 24th.
Okay, hold on a second. What's the last day you worked there?
The 27th.
3 days after that.
Mm-hmm. So if I was such a terrible caregiver, she could have fired me the day of. And it was taken care of within a couple text messages.
Okay. That's incredibly irresponsible on your part. If a child has a condition, you're not teaching a 10-year-old a lesson. You need a lesson as a nanny to know that if she tells you that there's a medical reason for this, that it's not, we're going to teach him a lesson. That's incredibly, I don't see anything else that's callous. But that was callous. It's your job to be the adult and tell the child, well, it's very simple. You put on sunscreen or I don't take you swimming. Mm-hmm. It's so simple. There are times when it's not as simple, but that one was really simple. Right. Would you like to go swimming? Then let's put on the sunscreen. And then you need to put it on them too, because they don't do a good job. That's how it works. That is taking care of a child, okay? So, but my question to you is, how does that justify you? At some point, once he locks you out, you say, I cannot continue to work here, right?
Not quite. So he locks me out, I get inside.
Out of the house?
Yes.
Did you not get he didn't like you?
Well, no, because we like had fun together when he wasn't being difficult.
Did you sense that maybe it wasn't going well because he just didn't like you? Because, you're new. You apparently didn't have a babysitter before her?
No, I did. Actually, I brought her here.
Okay.
She was on
So
vacation.
he didn't like her because she was new?
No, there was something in her personality that
Okay, whatever it is. So now he locks you out and what?
Right. He locked me out. I tried to get in. Grandpa opened the door for me after I texted the defendant. And so I get inside and he's locked in the bedroom. And at that point, I was very frustrated because every day that week I've been let go early, and every day I have to wait for him to come out of a room. Right. And even if I unlock the door with Grandpa's help or without his help, either way, it's I can't physically pick him up and make him be active.
Okay.
So I get him out of the room, and I can clearly tell that he's hiding something. And it turns out he's sitting on the iPad, which he's not really supposed to be using during the day. Like, he has special time that he uses it. It's like a reward. And I can see that he's using it, and so I call the defendant. We're on a speakerphone, and the defendant is trying to get him to be active with me because I had planned the firehouse day for him to go to
that
our
day
firehouse.
you're supposed to go to the firehouse with you, right?
Yes, and the defendant was trying to get him to listen to me and just be excited for the day. And so she goes, "Okay, Keelan, he's probably hungry, so why don't you go make him some breakfast?" And I go into the kitchen, make him breakfast. And then I see out of the corner of my eye him running down the stairs, ranting about how he broke the iPad on purpose.
On purpose.
And he shattered the iPad.
He said that he used the words on purpose.
Yes, he said, quote, "It was ruining my life. I did it on purpose." And so...
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Does this plaintiff get paid?
Yes, she gets paid. She did the work. She deserves to get paid.
But she didn't really get the results. That's the thing.
Well, I think she's still, whether she gets the results out and just the fact that she exhausted all her means and putting in the hours on trying to have him lose weight, I think she deserves to get paid.
Fair enough. You're smiling.
Yeah, I believe that she deserves to get paid if they tried to help her.
You try to help, you get paid.
Yeah, you get paid.
That's simple. Going inside the courtroom.
I don't know what it was about, the relationship that he had.
It doesn't
with
matter.
her.
This guy's just it's like when I set up two friends and they don't like each other.
Yeah.
There's no chemistry.
And
it's nobody's fault. There's just no chemistry. But that's not the point. Why are you not paying her for the days she worked?
Because she wasn't working. She was taking my son on dates. She didn't do her responsibilities. Her responsibility was my son's welfare. My son has a very rare condition. I made it very clear that he needed sunscreen.
Listen to me, Patrice. I need you to listen to me. You spend a week or two or a month. Is it a month?
No, it wasn't.
How long was she saying to you that she was going to pay you?
A good month.
I'm going to read to you just choice excerpts from that month. She says to you, "I need to be paid for the remainder of last week and this week. Thank you." You say to her, "Okay, exclamation point. No worries. I am taking a vacation to take care of my son. If we need help, we'll call you." How does that sound? Where do I send the check? She says, "Okay." The plaintiff, "Okay, I hope everything will work out. My address is blank, blank, blank. Thank you so much. I will be around till September in case you need any further help." Smiley face. You say, "Thanks for everything. You are wonderful. He's just going through a rough time." Then 2 weeks later, she still hasn't gotten your check that you said you were going to mail. And she says, "Hey, I haven't received the check. I hope it didn't get lost in the mail. Here's my address again." And then you say, "Oh, Caitlin, my bad. Baby got very sick. I had huge vet bills that wiped me out. I meant to text you, but I've been cleaning up after poor baby who's having some problem." Okay. She says, "That's totally fine. I hope baby feels better." Is baby a dog or a kid?
It's my dog.
It's a dog.
Oh, I hope that's totally, okay, that's totally fine. I hope baby feels better. And I hope your son is doing better too. Yes, I found a small play group and he goes every day. That's great news. Everybody's happy. Now passes another 3 weeks and you say, "I'm so sorry for the delay. I have to put a tracer on my checks to find out where." Why isn't this just you don't have the money to pay her? Right. Because if she earned money, just like if you earned money, you should get paid. If she earns money, she should get paid. So if you're telling me the reason I didn't is because she was miserable and didn't take care of my child, I got to know that's really the reason. And when I see 1 month of you skating and telling her, "Oh, I'm sorry I didn't get paid. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, you're so wonderful." It starts to sound like you're a liar in court now when you say the reason why you didn't pay her is because she's miserable. Your son is going through issues.
I didn't want to say that in a text,
Really? Because if you don't say it at all and you're telling her, "I'm paying you, I sent the check. Oh, I didn't tell her, I got to trace my check." Then it just sounds like you're making this stuff up
because
now.
I was thinking
I'm not going to let you make this stuff up now. Pay the lady. Pay the lady. I'm glad that you figured out a better situation, but that doesn't mean that you get to skate on 2 weeks
But
of childcare.
I didn't get to finish telling you what
I don't
happened.
care what you have to say because not a thing you said so far, nor 2 months of text.
Well, I was gonna pay her, and then I got this thing.
Stop. The suntan thing isn't an excuse. She made my son so mad that my son acted out is no excuse because your son was acting out before her. None of this is an excuse. The real reason is you don't want to pay her, either because you need your money for other bills, like you say in 42 texts, or because you just don't feel like it. Either way, I am unconcerned because you still owe her that debt. My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $505.
Here comes the defendant out of the courtroom right now. Come on over here. The judge rules that you owe her the money. She worked. She earned it. You have to pay her whether you liked it or not.
I don't think she worked for it at all. She did things to my son that got my son so upset. It smashed my $800 iPad, which now I have to figure out how to pay for. And she did not do her job. She was going on dates and not putting sunscreen on a child who has a rare condition.
How's he doing? How's your son
It's
doing?
a day-to-day thing, but I'm glad that I have my nanny who has always taken good care of him, and I'm glad she's back. So.
Well, we wish him the best.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right, head right down there. All right, come on in here. All right, so you win your case. What's your comment on this?
Oh, well, she messed with the wrong babysitter. There's no reason why I shouldn't have gotten paid for my services. I did a job. I deserve to get paid. And I did.
Do you think you bit off a little bit more than you could chew with this job, taking care of a kid with these kind of problems?
You know what? She said that my heart wasn't in it, but that's not true. I set up many activities for him, even gave him a good recommendation to go to my private school. I'm a good babysitter and I stand by it.
What do you got, Harvey?
So here's the thing. The plaintiff only has to guarantee that she will use her best efforts to try and complete the contract. You do not guarantee results in a contract like this. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.